Independence Day was the date of separation in Aaron Phypers' divorce petition. 3 days later, Denise Richards laid out graphic abuse allegations in a filing that won her a temporary protective order, with photos she says show injuries and a looming August 8th showdown, as Phypers insists none of it ever happened. Denise Richards and Aaron Phypers married in 2018. After 6 years together, he filed for divorce on July 7th, 2025, listing July 4th, Independence Day, as the separation date and citing irreconcilable differences. Just months earlier, she had publicly said she would never divorce again, making the sudden filing a sharper narrative turn.
Time is flying.
It flew by.
I mean, you used to have like dark hair, now I'm all white. So
I can't see.
9 days after his petition, on July 16th, a Los Angeles judge granted Denise a temporary restraining order, TRO. The order, set to remain in effect until an August 8th hearing, requires Phypers to stay a reported 100 yards away from her home, work locations, and vehicles. The rapid sequence filing, then TRO, inside 2 weeks, marks the legal breaking point in what had publicly appeared a united marriage during prior reality show appearances. The opening phase of the split is now a 2-track process: the divorce case, assets, support claims, and the protective order process, whether temporary limits become longer term. Phypers has denied the allegations underlying the TRO, while Richards positions the order as necessary for safety ahead of the August hearing, setting the stage for escalating filings over the next several weeks.
I remember Erica Jane, she touched her lats when we were at a premiere. Do you remember that? And she was like, Aaron, you have really good lats. Do you remember that?
I don't remember that, honestly.
How do you not remember someone?
Because I cut out all those people.
Oh.
Aaron Phypers' petition, filed in Los Angeles Superior Court on July 7th, 2025, cites irreconcilable differences, lists July 4th as the separation date after nearly 6 years of marriage, and requests spousal support from Denise Richards, standard positioning that signals he intends to negotiate on ongoing maintenance rather than an immediate clean break. In the supporting financial disclosures, Phypers asserts Denise earns about $250,000 per month across television work, brand deals, and her OnlyFans activity, while claiming he currently has little or no active income following the shutdown of his wellness business. He also itemizes roughly $105,000 in combined monthly household expenses and seeks to retain specified personal property, including tools, as separate assets, figures used to justify the spousal support request. Strategically, framing a sharp income gap at the outset helps his side argue for temporary support orders during the broader property division phase. Those numbers will become negotiation levers alongside any future forensic accounting. Denise's team may commission to challenge his claimed earning status. In her sworn declaration seeking the temporary restraining order, Denise Richards alleges a multi-year pattern of physical and verbal abuse, saying incidents escalated from shouting and intimidation to episodes in which she was grabbed forcefully and struck, and that she ultimately feared for her safety. She recounts earlier incidents she says she kept private, asserting she felt pressured to keep the marriage together despite what she describes as recurring aggression.
what we need is like a big steak. That's what I need.
Big steak. Go have your steak
and go to a strip bar.
have.
We'll go to a strip bar.
Go do that, you guys. Wait, what?
She details several specific dates: an alleged 2022 incident at a Malibu location, another in May 2025, while she says she was recovering from a medical procedure, and a confrontation on July 4th, 2025, the date later listed as the separation date in his divorce filing, that she claims culminated in painful contact to her face. According to the filing, these events form a pattern she characterizes as escalating and cyclical. Periods of apologies followed by renewed hostility. Richards submitted photographs she says show resulting facial bruising and other marks, along with a narrative asserting that some alleged incidents occurred in proximity to family members. Media reporting notes that at least one image, the black eye photo, is included among the exhibits she provided to the court to substantiate her account. She further alleges repeated explicit threats directed at her, claiming these left her fearful of attempting an earlier formal complaint and contributed to a delay in seeking court protection until after the July 4th confrontation. The declaration states that once the marriage publicly appeared to fracture, she felt safer documenting and presenting the history to a judge. Richards' filing emphasizes that the pattern, as she describes it, combined controlling behavior, verbal intimidation, and episodic physical aggression. She frames the TRO as necessary to prevent recurrence while the divorce proceeds. Aaron Phypers, through statements released after the order was granted, categorically denies every allegation and says her claims are false and reputationally damaging. Aaron Phypers has issued a categorical denial of Denise Richards' allegations, stating in a public statement, relayed through multiple outlets, that he has never physically or emotionally abused Denise or anyone, calling her claims completely false, harmful, and deeply hurtful, and asking for privacy while the legal process unfolds.
Denise Richards and her husband, Aaron, filing for divorce from Denise and also asking for like an obscene amount of
Coverage of his response notes that Phypers is not conceding any specific incident described in her declaration. Instead, his strategy so far has been a broad rejection paired with a reputational defense, emphasizing that he views the filings as damaging and untrue while declining to litigate detail by detail in the press ahead of the August hearing. Reports also highlight that his divorce petition, filed days earlier citing irreconcilable differences, sets up parallel tracks, contesting her narrative in the restraining order proceeding while pursuing spousal support and property issues in the divorce, with no further substantive comment from his side beyond the blanket denial.
Denise Richards and her husband going through a divorce. This weekend, it has heated up. It is now much different. She has now filed a restraining order against her estranged husband, saying that he threatened to kill her, and then obviously released a bunch of photos along with court documents showing her with a giant black eye. So this will be a temporary domestic violence restraining order, and saying that he had accused him of physical and verbal abuse. And then
media summaries reiterate that following his statement, he has not publicly addressed the photographs or timeline elements she submitted, leaving those to be tested under court scrutiny rather than through additional interviews, positioning the upcoming hearing as the first forum where any evidentiary challenge may surface. The temporary restraining order granted on July 16th requires Aaron Phypers to have no contact with Denise Richards and to remain approximately 100 yards away from her residence, workplace locations, and property, including vehicles, until the scheduled August 8th hearing, where the court will decide whether to extend, modify, or let the order lapse. The order also reflects the court's preliminary acceptance, for protective purposes only, of Richards' sworn declaration. It is a preventive civil measure, not a finding of liability or guilt, and it preserves the status quo while evidence is evaluated. Phypers' denial of the underlying allegations remains on record alongside the stay-away terms. Procedurally, if Richards seeks a long-term protective order at the August hearing, she will have to present sufficient testimony and exhibits to justify continuing restrictions. Phypers can oppose by challenging credibility, context of the photographs, or the necessity of ongoing distance requirements, outcomes that can influence parallel negotiations over divorce timelines and interim support. Mainstream entertainment and news outlets moved quickly after the TRO was granted. Initial divorce filing pieces, focused on separation date support request, were rapidly updated with excerpts from Denise's declaration and selected photographs she says document injuries, reframing coverage from a standard split to a safety-driven narrative. Nearly every article paired those allegations with Aaron Phypers' immediate blanket denial to underscore that the court has not made factual findings. Aggregation then amplified specific timeline beats: the July 4th separation date, the July 7th filing, the July 16th TRO, and circulated the black eye image, while legal commentators on entertainment sites and social platforms highlighted that a temporary restraining order is preventive, not a adjudication, fueling threads debating due process versus public support for Denise.
That strip bar. I somehow hurt your feelings if you're really mad and hurt about it, but we're going to get a steak and we're going to a strip club. How do you say that if you're being all high and mighty about a threesome?
It's